There's this huge conflict in the air right now, isn't there? This constant pervasive fear that AI is, an existential threat, that it's
Absolutely.
coming to automate away all of our careers. You see these sensational headlines, you feel that anxiety building about widespread unemployment.
hmm
But what happens when we actually look past the panic? When we dive into the real data?
And that is exactly the core tension we are tackling today. We are taking a deep dive into sources that directly challenge that single fear-driven narrative.
Right.
Our mission is to contrast the loud projections about job displacement with the really surprising numbers on job creation and, well, the massive entrepreneurial revolution that AI is fueling right now. We want to give you a clear, balanced picture.
Exactly. We've synthesized projections, some counter-arguments, and real-world case studies to really define AI's true role.
Not as a force for total replacement.
No, but as a tremendous catalyst for structural transformation and new business growth, we're going to move through this analysis, tracing the arguments from the biggest doom and gloom predictions right down to what's happening on the ground.
So as you're listening to these numbers and stories, it's a good idea to keep a few questions in mind.
Yes, definitely. First, where do your unique skills fit on this spectrum of automatable versus augmentable?
A critical question. And second, is your current sector just trying to adapt AI for, simple efficiency gains, or is it going through a fundamental structural transformation?
And crucially, how does this rise of independent entrepreneurship change the very definition of job security in this new AI era?
The ability to answer those questions for yourself is really the key to thriving in the next decade.
And if this breakdown helps you cut through the noise and find those crucial insights, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel and share this deep dive. It really helps us out.
Okay, so where do we start?
Let's start with the loudest warnings, what we're calling the fear versus the nuanced numbers.
Yeah.
The sensational narrative is easy to digest, but what do the initial, most serious displacement figures actually tell us?
Well, what's fascinating here is that even the most anxiety-inducing projections are layered with a lot of complexity.
Hmm.
For instance, we looked at a major estimate from Goldman Sachs. Their analysis suggests that about 6 to 7% of current U.S. jobs could potentially be displaced by AI by the year 2030.
6 to 7%. And just to put a human face on that, we're like 9 to 11 million positions.
Right.
That is a significant churn. It absolutely validates the anxiety workers are feeling today. If you're in one of those 9 million roles, this isn't some abstract fear. It's very, very real.
It is, but here's the nuance the headlines always miss. If we connect this to the bigger economic picture, the overall unemployment effects are actually expected to remain modest and temporary.
Okay, but where's the evidence for that net positive? I mean, historically, automation has always caused massive short-term pain. It's required decades of societal adjustment.
That's true.
So why should we believe that AI-driven productivity gains will generate new roles and new industries faster than jobs are destroyed this time around?
It really comes down to scale and speed. The sources project that the sheer magnitude of AI-driven productivity, this massive increase in efficiency across nearly every single sector, will generate demand and create new roles
Roles in completely new areas.
in areas we can't even fully name yet. So the consensus view shifts from inevitable total loss to necessary profitable adjustment. The economy doesn't just shrink, it reshapes itself.
Leading to that net positive employment effect.
Exactly. That structural adjustment is what we need to focus on.
And that focus brings us from these huge macro predictions right down to what's actually happening on the ground in the real job market.
Precisely.
And to do that, we have to acknowledge the most dramatic warnings.
Yeah.
The ones from people like Andrew Yang.
Oh, absolutely. He has been sounding this alarm for years.
His prediction is that up to 40 million American jobs could be lost over the next decade. 40 million. That represents a genuine economic earthquake.
And Yang's warning is significant not just for the number, but for the targets. He specifically highlights that this isn't about factory floor automation anymore.
Right. This isn't the story of the robot arm on the assembly line.
No, this is high-skill, white-collar jobs. Finance, healthcare administration, legal services, other professional sectors. They're often the most at risk because they rely so heavily on language processing and data analysis.
The exact areas where generative AI excels.
The assistant lawyer reviewing documents, the junior analyst crunching spreadsheets.
Those jobs are now on the chopping block. That completely flips conventional wisdom. And of course, we know Yang proposed a massive societal remedy for this.
Universal Basic Income, UBI, funded by taxing the very AI companies that are causing the disruption.
This is a really compelling theoretical framework for sure, for mitigating a potential future crisis.
It is. However, when we contrast that stark prediction with what is actually happening today, since the massive rise of tools like ChatGPT, the data tells a very different story.
Let's just clarify for everyone listening. When we talk about generative AI, we mean the systems that can create new content, text, code, images, video, all based on simple prompts.
And these tools really exploded into the public sphere starting in late 2022.
So what happened to employment after that pivot point?
For that, we turn to analysis from the Yale Budget Lab. They conducted a really comprehensive check on employment data following that November 2022 launch.
And the key insight.
Remarkable stability. They found no evidence of a broad AI-driven job collapse materializing across most sectors.
So zero evidence of the catastrophe we were warned about.
Not yet. The impact resembles a more gradual technological evolution, not a sudden economic upheaval. Now, we do see adaptation happening.
For instance,
Early career workers are facing new challenges because some entry-level tasks, the ones that used to build foundational experience, are being automated.
but the transition is proving far more manageable than that 40 million job prediction would imply.
Exactly. The market is adapting, not collapsing.
That's such a critical distinction. And here's where we move past just stability and into actual growth. Because the market isn't just holding steady, it's bursting with new activity.
This is the core counter-narrative we found. This massive entrepreneurial boom, which shows AI not as a job stealer, but as the ultimate job enabler.
The public enthusiasm for new ventures is, you can feel it.
It's palpable. We saw robust consumer enthusiasm during Small Business Saturday just this past year, with an estimated 67 million Americans actively supporting local businesses. People are ready to support independent founders.
But the real shift is on the supply side, the number of people actually taking that leap themselves.
Exactly. New research from LinkedIn's economic graph reveals a startling founder surge, the number of U.S. members adding founder or co-founder to their professional profiles.
It's a huge number, isn't it?
It's surged by a massive 69% since last year. This is genuinely an entrepreneurial renaissance, and it's happening right now.
Wow, 69%. That is a phenomenal jump. But let's dig into the mechanism there. Why is this happening now, and how is AI directly fueling this specific surge?
Well, if we connect this to the bigger picture, this is a story of democratization. Historically, starting a business required high initial capital.
Right, you needed to hire a graphic designer for your branding, a copywriter for your marketing.
Maybe a developer for a simple website, an administrative assistant for all the back office work.
All specialized labor that costs money before you've even made your first sale.
Correct. AI tools are removing those capital barriers. Now, a single founder can use generative AI to draft a basic legal contract, create professional quality marketing content, and visual assets.
Build a low-code website, automate customer support.
All tasks that used to require a team or a significant financial outlay, AI lets the solo entrepreneur look and operate like a small enterprise.
So AI reduces the minimum viable cost of entry, and it does so dramatically. This fundamentally challenges that narrative that AI only destroys jobs.
It's actively empowering millions of individuals to create their own jobs, their own value.
It shifts the power dynamic.
Precisely. Instead of just weathering disruption, these individuals are leveraging the tools to become creators of opportunity.
Which naturally leads us to look at how AI changes work for people who stay in traditional roles. We really need to shift the focus entirely from the question, will AI replace me? To the far more important question, how will AI change what I do? This is the transformation and augmentation story.
And the data strongly backs this change in perspective. PwC's 2025 AI Jobs Barometer found that AI makes workers more valuable even in highly automatable roles.
More valuable? How?
Because the technology is being used to augment or enhance human capabilities, not to replace them entirely.
And augmentation requires a new type of worker, doesn't it?
Yeah.
We keep hearing about these so-called hybrid skills.
Absolutely. The new jobs that are emerging demand a combination of technical fluency, understanding how to operate and integrate AI with distinctly human capabilities.
Judgment, creativity, emotional intelligence.
Complex, non-linear reasoning, all the things that make us human.
So why can't AI replicate those specific human qualities, like judgment or creativity?
Because at its core, AI operates on patterns, on statistics, on existing data. Judgment relies on ethics, on experience, on understanding unique, unquantifiable human context.
And creativity relies on synthesis and breaking established patterns to create something genuinely novel.
Right. AI can execute, but the human must still provide the vision and the strategic why.
Let's look at a powerful, tangible example of this in action. Software development, a field that many people thought would be completely automated by now.
GitHub Copilot is the poster child for this augmentation. It now assists 75% of developers worldwide.
75%, that's incredible market penetration.
And crucially, it boosts their coding productivity by 30 to 40%.
That boost in efficiency is massive. But does that surge in productivity truly translate to job security? Or does it just mean higher expectations for output?
It translates to a shift in focus. Instead of eliminating the developers, the AI handles the mundane, the repetitive boilerplate code.
Which frees up the human worker.
Exactly. It frees them to focus entirely on complex problem solving, architectural design, debugging unique problems, and creative strategy. The high-value tasks that really move projects forward. The human role gets elevated.
We see this pattern elsewhere too. Take customer service, a highly transactional role traditionally.
Right. AI chatbots are reducing customer service operational costs by over 23%. They're handling all the routine, repetitive inquiries immediately.
But this doesn't eliminate the human agents.
No, instead, it frees them to tackle only the complex, emotionally charged issues. Things like billing disputes or serious technical failures, the stuff that requires empathy and nuanced judgment to resolve.
So it improves efficiency while actually improving service quality where that human connection matters most. And what about the emergence of completely new sectors? We know AI isn't just optimizing old jobs.
Oh, it's enabling vital new industries, especially in the green economy. Look at Iceland's Climeworks, for example.
What are they doing?
They use AI-driven technology for direct air carbon capture to combat climate change. This one technology is creating hundreds of high-skilled green jobs in fields like engineering, advanced operations, and environmental science.
Jobs that literally didn't exist 15 years ago.
And are now enabled by this new level of AI sophistication.
Okay, let's unpack this whole picture. We've established that the data points away from doom and gloom and more toward a deep, structural, yet manageable change. The question now shifts entirely to the individual learner, to you listening. How do you proactively adapt and thrive in this transformed environment?
Well, the first critical action point is, I think, non-negotiable. Lifelong learning. This means continuous skill development and building a fundamental AI literacy across all professions.
And we don't mean you have to become a computer scientist.
No, not at all. We mean understanding when and how to apply these powerful tools strategically in your specific domain, whether you're a marketer, a doctor, or an engineer.
And the second point ties directly back to that 69% surge we talked about.
Embrace entrepreneurship. If AI is democratizing business launches, lowering capital, and automating administrative labor, then the individual has never had a better chance to build something new. You have to view AI as an opportunity creator, not just a threat to be weathered.
And finally, this transition isn't just about personal choice, right? It requires systemic support.
It does. Action point 3 is for governments and businesses. They have to invest heavily in large-scale retraining programs, education initiatives, and robust social safety nets.
To ensure workers can navigate these transitions smoothly and equitably.
Right. To ensure that the productivity gains benefit everyone, not just the early adopters.
So to synthesize everything we've looked at today, AI is fundamentally a tool for transformation, not for the total replacement of human workers.
I think that's the key takeaway.
The evidence of empowerment is clear in that massive surge of new founders, that remarkable 69% increase, and the stability of the labor market since generative AI became mainstream. The entrepreneurial boom shows that AI empowers individuals to create value just as much as it disrupts established industry.
Well said.
If this deep dive helped you connect the dots between the fear narrative and the hard data, please hit that like button, share this, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss our next deep dive into the world of complex information.
And this all raises a really important question for everyone to consider moving forward.
What's that?
If AI tools remove the low-level repetitive tasks that historically served as entry-level training, the simple tasks where new workers build foundational experience, get acclimated to an industry, how must businesses fundamentally restructure their mentorship and apprenticeship programs to properly build the next generation of hybrid skilled workers? That is a profound structural challenge for all of us to solve today.